Miracle morning, everybody. So, from today onwards, we are going to learn English grammar. Yes, the first chapter which we are going to begin is the sentence. Every day we speak or write some words, right? And then, when we are using these words to make a complete sentence, they are categorized as a sentence. So, if we define it, what is a sentence? A very basic and very simple definition is the sentence is a group of words which makes a complete sense. Now, when we talk about what are the types of sentences, so we will be talking about four types of sentences. The first one is those which make statements or assertion. They come under the category of assertive or declarative sentences. You can say that these are just simple sentences like I am teaching you or we are going to market. So some sentences which are just a declaration which make assertions come under the category of assertive sentences. Second type of sentences are which ask question. If I say, what are you learning today? You can say we are learning the sentence. So this type of sentence when we are asking the question, they come under the category of interrogative sentences. So interrogative sentences are sentences which ask questions. Where do you live? How old are you? These are some examples of interrogative sentences. The next category of sentence, the next type of sentence is where we use expressions. So, expressions like it could be a bad expression, it could be a good expression. If I say, gee, how disgusting. So, this is your exclamatory sentence, right? Or if I say, hooray, I have won the match. So this type of sentence is also exclamatory sentence. And the last sentence where we give order, make request or give commands. They are imperative sentences. So we studied about the first rule that sentence is a sentence only when it makes a complete sense. Second, we talked about types of sentences. So, the first is assertive or declarative. Declare, we declare something or we make a positive statement. Second type of sentence is interrogative, where we ask a question. The third type is exclamatory sentence, where we use some expressions, the words to express something. Then the fourth type of sentence is imperative, when we give order, request or command. Now when we talk about a sentence is divided into two parts. The first part is a subject, for what we are talking, for whom we are talking. So subject, and the second part of the sentence is a predicate. So when we name some person or thing, it is a subject. When we say something about the person or a thing, it is the next part is a predicate. Okay, so in other words, when we say we must have a subject to speak about and we must say something about the subject, it comes under the category of a predicate. So, the part which names the person or the thing we are speaking about, it is called a subject. And what we are talking about, the subject, comes under the category of a predicate. Yes, the basically when we talk about the subject, it comes in the beginning, but occasionally it can come at the end also. I'll give you certain example for the beginning also and for the ending also. When I say, here comes the bus. So bus is the subject here, but it is coming after the subject. Okay, sorry, predicate. It comes after the predicate. When I say, sweet are the uses of adversity. So adversity is a subject here, but it is coming after the predicate. Yes. So subject, when I say Mohan is a good boy. So Mohan comes in the beginning. It is a subject. Okay. And here comes the bus. Bus is the subject, but it is coming at the end. So we can say the rule says that subject of a sentence usually comes first, but occasionally it is put after a predicate also. So in imperative sentences, where we talked about request, order or commands, in imperative sentences, we leave the subject part. It is not compulsory to use a subject in every sentence. Like sit down, there is no subject. That means we are giving a command to somebody or someone. So sit down is a simple imperative sentence and there is no subject here. Hope you understood the concept of subject and predicate. The next part which we are going to proceed is the phrase and a clause. When I talk about a phrase, phrase is a group of sentence, phrase is a group of words which does not give us a complete sense. But again, it is a group of words. And clause includes a subject also and a verbs also. Okay. Now, if I say examine the group of words. In a corner. In a corner. It makes sense but not complete sense. So such a group of words which is not making a complete sense, it is called a phrase. Like another example you can see, the sun rises in the east. Here in this sentence, when I am saying in the east, is not making complete sense. Another example you can refer is Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. So on a wall is a group of words, but it is not making a complete sense. Then again one more example. It was sunset of great beauty. So when I say of great beauty, it is a combination of words, but it is not making a complete sense. So what is it called? It is called a phrase. So what is a phrase? Phrase is a combination of words. Phrase is a group of words, but it is not giving you a complete sense. Now, coming to another part of a sentence, that is a clause. When I say, he has a chain of gold. I repeat my sentence, he has a chain of gold. So, he has a chain which is made of gold. So, here we recognize the first group as a phrase. He has a chain of gold. Of gold is a phrase, but when I say the second group of words, unlike the phrase of gold, when I say it contains a subject also and it contains a predicate also. So we have a subject and a predicate in it. So it comes under the category of a clause. Such a group of word which forms a part of the sentence and contains a subject and a predicate. I repeat, a group of words which forms a part of sentence which has a subject and a predicate also. It can have a verb also. Okay? It will be a clause. I'll give you the example. People who pay their debts are trusted. It is having a subject. People who pay debts. Who pay debts. It is having a verb also, a predicate also. So it comes under the category of a clause. Correct? Next, moving further, we will be talking about dependent clauses and independent clauses, but later in the coming chapters. We are studying about sentence. So, sentence, the first we talked about the types of sentences. Then we talked about the sentence is divided into two parts. The first part is subject and the second part is predicate. Then the third we talked about the same sentence which has a phrase also and which has a clause also. Phrase is a group of words which does not make a complete sense, but clause may make a sense, may not make a sense. But clause must have subject and predicate. And predicate has a verb also. So clause has a subject and a verb also. Correct? Moving further, we will talk about parts of speech. So when we talk about a sentence, a group of words, it has different parts of speech. So when we talk about the parts of speech, we have 8 parts of speech in a sentence. The first one is a noun. We will be studying all these in detail in the coming chapters. So first part of speech is a noun. It is a naming word. If I can name anything and everything around me, it is a noun. Yes, the second part of a sentence, a part of speech of a sentence is a pronoun. A pronoun replaces a noun. A pronoun replaces a noun. If I say Rekha is a good girl, so Rekha is a noun. But if I say Rekha speaks nicely and I replace Rekha with the word she, so she is a pronoun here, right? Next part of speech is adjective. The third part of speech is adjective. When I say Rekha is a good girl, I used Rekha as a noun, but I used good as a quality. So when we are speaking about a quality of a noun, it is categorized as adjective. So adjective talks about the quality of a noun. It can modify a noun in any way. It could modify a noun talking about its quantity also. There are details are many. We will talk later. But here I'm just referring to parts of speech. So the first part is the noun. The second part is pronoun. The third part of speech is adjective. The fourth part of speech is a verb. So now what is a verb? When we are using a sentence, it has an action included. So when I talk, Rekha speaks nicely. So speaks is a verb here. Or I can say Rekha spoke nicely. Spoke is again a verb here. So verb we will again study in detail, but here we have to simply understand what exactly a verb is. So verb is action word. Whatever we do is an action. So action words are verbs. Okay. Next part of speech moving further is your adverb. As I said, that noun, when we modify a noun, when we actually elaborate how the noun is, we say that it is using an adjective. So adjective actually determines a noun. When we talk about adverb, it determines a verb. So it is modifying a verb. So adverb modifies a verb. Adverb is also a part of speech. Next, coming forward is the next part of speech is preposition. So when I talk about preposition, it can be I have put my books in the cupboard. So in is a preposition here. And what is preposition? Preposition is a word used with a noun. It can be used with a pronoun also to show how the person or the thing denoted the noun or pronoun stands in relation. How is it related? Stands in relation to something. How it is related to something. So preposition is a word used with noun and pronoun to show the relation. Next part of speech is conjunction. So conjunction is a word used to join two words or sentences. If I say Rekha is a good girl, she speaks nicely. And if I use one word to combine both of them, you can say Rekha is a good girl and speaks nicely. So end is a word which can be categorized as conjunction. And the last part of speech is interjection. Now, interjection is what? A word which expresses some sudden feeling. Hooray! We have won the match. Ah, alas, she died. So, I repeat all the parts of speech once again. The first one, a noun. Noun is a word used as a name of a person or a thing. The second, I say an adjective. An adjective is a word used to add something to the meaning of a noun. Third, we talk about pronoun. Pronoun is a word which is used instead of a noun. Fourth is a verb. Verb is used to express an action. An action, what we do. It expresses an action also, it expresses an state also. Next, an adverb. So, adverb is used to add something to the meaning of a verb. It can add meaning to the adjective also or another adverb also. So, adverb in detail we will be later on learning. Next comes preposition. Preposition, as I said, it shows a relationship between the person or thing denoted by a noun or a pronoun. Next comes conjunction. Conjunction is a word used to join words or sentences. Last but not the least, hope you have understood them. So, last one is interjection. So, interjection is a word which expresses some sudden feeling. Okay, so revise and then we will be coming up with a test in the next video. And we will be learning about the determiners also. We will be learning each and every part of speech in detail. If there are any questions, any doubts, you can put it in the comment box. You can ask. We are available and we are going to solve your queries ASAP. So don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to comment and learn with us in a way which is really very easy and good to go. So here you are done with the first chapter, learning the sentence. It will help you understand how to speak, what to speak, when to speak, where to speak in a very confident way. Don't just simply watch, make the notes and understand it deeply so that the things are done nicely at your end. If you have started your journey of learning English, don't be dependent. Just listen carefully, understand any question. You can put forward the comment. If you want one-to-one class, we are available live also. So, see you in the next chapter. Bye bye. Take care. Miracle afternoon once again. Thank you.